Hey everyone, it's been absolutely months of real time since we had our climactic battle in the subterranean rooms below Necropolitan Hill. The cult has been put to the sword, as well as many monsters and a gate sealed between the worlds that was going to cause some incredibly bad things. And before we cruise on too far, I'd like to get impressions, dig in your brains from last game from some of our players. Also, introduce your characters again as we do this. I'm going to start with Pietro just because I think he has some of the best notes. And then let him...
I must admit, by the time we got to the final encounter, I was so excited I didn't take any notes.
Yeah.
But I mean, we took Moon de Lavelle to the Signora of Roses.
Yes.
So that was her comeuppance. We assumed that the Signora will probably not be kind.
Yep.
Then we went to the funeral, obviously.
Yes.
And chaos ensued as the funeral was attacked by ghosts and things from the dark.
Yes.
Then we went into the mausoleum.
Yes.
Where we had to shake the pinky finger of the statue to open the secret door. So yeah, after we fought off some cultists and ghosts and things.
I'm just away from the keyboard for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, we had to shake the pinky finger, and the secret door opened, leading down into the depths, and then I think we had to fight off.
You fought the dean of the college.
That's it, the dean.
Yeah.
Which we thought was the final fight, but then the stairs opened up, which led down to an even bigger boss fight.
Yes.
Where
However,
we had to...
Yeah.
Yeah. We I can't remember what we did in that. We shortcutted the thing, didn't we?
You sort of juked it. There's a well at the end that was opened up sort of between the worlds, between the world of the dead and the world of the living. You guys looked down at that and saw. And at the same time, we saw that the last of the Deathless was pacing back and forth, and I was ready for a major boss fight. But you guys solved the riddle in a way I didn't think you would. Everyone was willing to take wounds to help douse the required blood to shut the gate.
That's right, yeah.
Instead of like one of you guys going, I'm saving the day, and jumping in the hole, which I truly believed was going to happen. I really thought we were going to lose a character right there and then. Instead, we find ourselves, and if I remember right, I sadly have not gotten to watch the video to see exactly how it ended. But for those of you that role play, you do understand that sometimes there's a little bit of disjointedness in between games, especially when there's months apart. So bear with me as all of you are in the room, sort of on the stairs, and I think I may have shut off the last of the Deathless from being interrogated or anything else. And I will tell you that the orb around him is calcifying rapidly.
Was this another occasion where you had a big exposition, big speech prepared? That you had to
I'm not
crumple up and throw in the bin.
Yes. does happen once in a while. Go figure. However,
Yeah.
I did not. But as this calcifies, you see this creature moving back and forth. When I say creature, he's human, maybe slightly larger than normal height. As he's pacing back and forth, looking furious, you can see this dome around him calcifying. It's getting slightly harder to see him. There is a slight opportunity to maybe converse before there's no further chance. Your call if you'd like to do that.
I've got nothing to say to him.
Fair enough. He is one of the greatest wielders of magic of the old world there, Rob. Any interesting questions you'd like to ask him about the nature of reality at all?
Yeah, who is it?
The last of the Deathless?
The last of the
Era.
Deathless.
Hey, Deathless baby, got any good magic tips you can lay on me, man?
Any quick tips before you're sealed away forever?
Yeah.
Again.
Oh, by the way.
I was going to say, you could spin round, pull down your pants and moony him.
There is that.
I was thinking, but yeah, I don't think I'm that grand.
I mean, does is sound travelling through this dome? I mean, we've seen him pacing around and like tearing his hair and being generally very. I think you said he was obviously had been rendered insane by centuries of imprisonment in this thing, but I don't remember you saying we could hear anything through there.
You couldn't hear almost anything. You think if you were to get really close to that there dome, you might be able to hear something, because you did hear some bellowing, or you think the edge of bellowing. I'm not leading you. I'm just giving you an opportunity.
Yeah, I'm not getting within reach of that dome, because you can just imagine that this hand comes out, grabs you, and pulls you in.
And it's not that I'll show you. It's not that I had this particular screen ready to go.
yeah, exactly. I mean, he. I mean, we may think he's imprisoned in that thing, and he obviously is bodily, but that doesn't mean he couldn't exert an influence outside. I am not getting close.
Fair enough.
I'm going to shout, and I'm going to go, "Yo, Deathless dude! Do you know a way of me removing stress and wounds with no stress cost?"
You hear the voice.
Almighty magic person, lay it on me.
The voice booms back in your heads. You may not meta magic the deep magics, you fools. And he breaks out. No.
Quickly pick up the dog and throw it at him.
Oh no.
So I think you guys, it appears. Oh, I'm getting an echo off myself. I think. Yeah, I think you guys make the decision, and a smart decision it is, to probably leave well enough alone. You watch. I don't know. Do you just want to sprint up the stairs? Or you want to go ahead and watch that thing calcify right up?
Oh yeah, no. I want to watch, make sure it all reaches a satisfactory conclusion.
Yeah, Sasha pulls out popcorn.
It starts from the ground up, where you think that probably the dome extends underground as well, below where he is at, to make the full ball shape around this creature. the calcification looks like etching and glass as it rises up with symbols that glow and fade. And as they fade, they turn hard like stone, like a pearlescent stone. And you see that that continues to climb up the sides with letters that are etched that get harder. And it looks finally, when this is through and you do hear some howling from inside, much muffled, like a giant, like an agate that is just, you know, where you'll get a circular rock that is hard but has some striation and some. You think if you were to, you know, pop it open, you might have a geode. I'm just joking. You're not going to have a geode, and you don't want to ever crack that open. But you now have a complete firm rock shell around this particular creature. And the sounds from inside are absolutely muted. The well itself is quiescent. Nothing's coming from there. What do you guys want to do?
Pick for loot. Oh, wrong game.
Wow.
Hang on. Sorry.
Yes. Wrong game. Yeah. But yes, sadly, there's zero loot down here. The ghost type creatures that you got rid of, the fact that you were able to rapidly move to block Argaz, the Pitiless, from his ascent. You guys are pretty good.
I'd say we should probably head back up the stairs and see what's happening to the funeral cortege.
Okay. So what I will do then is I'm going to move you off of this to a different picture, because coming back up, you pass the body of the dean. You may or may not do anything with that if you so choose.
I think we should probably take that with us.
Very good. So you have that. There are a couple of his acolytes who may or may not be from high houses. We don't know.
Yeah, I think we'll take all the bodies out from the mausoleum because, you know,
Got it.
dangers of undead possession and all that potentially. I think we should, you know, get
Very good.
all the bodies out of here.
And then you're up in the chapel itself, where you remove a couple of others. And at the exit, you can still hear that there's the screams and the upset seem to be in the distance.
So, as I remember, all of the spirits were coming out of this well of souls, and they were sort of coming up through the floor into the chapel, into the mausoleum. Is that right?
Yep. Yep.
And then, was that the source of all of the ones outside as well?
Probably, you think, looking back on it, probably not. However, you also think that the very fact of the well being open may have allowed other things in other locations to arise. Okay? As you look around, you do not perceive any ghosts except one, Rob, your grandpa, and he is a wavering figure. If you remember, most of your life, he's sort of grown stronger in how he looked. And then there was the point he turned sort of feral looking towards the end. He now looks much more like he did before, but his form is even more ghost-like and transparent and weak than it was when you first saw him in your bedroom as a child.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we've closed the wall between the worlds, which was enabling him to come through.
Interesting.
something along those lines. So, I mean, if that's the case, it's been getting stronger over time. This has probably been going on for a long time then.
Aha, interesting.
You know, I really hate
Still that hole in the.
Interesting.
I'd just love you to explore those thoughts. That's a great line of thought.
Monty's thought is going back to that hole we found in the canals as well.
It was a crack in space, wasn't there? Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
He's like, that's.
Aragorn's on the other side. His
Yeah, it wasn't
hand,
fun.
his
Well, you know why
gigantic
that was,
hand
don't
on the
you?
other side.
You know why that was, don't you? And that was there only because you guys didn't actually cut the bloody hands off to get the bracelets off the apprentices.
I think we got the bracelet.
Did too.
I think we got the bracelets off with a bit of lubrication, didn't we? In the end.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
But that's why we've got a massive hole in the rift of some space and time.
Oh, okay. I see.
You know, trust me on these things. All magical.
Yeah.
I know everything about magic.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We trust it when we have. Yeah.
Now, the things that we did not get to deeply dig at were Fey magic, which we just didn't get there. But we definitely got into the blood magic, which seemed to be a big part of the problems that were in this world, and particularly dangerous to folks. Is Felix back? Felix,
It seems to be. Yeah. In and out.
If you don't have your video going, Felix, it's not going to kill anybody. If you just want to go to your sound. I'm going to say, just go sound, Felix. Yes,
Yeah.
There you go.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't fight with the video. We can deal with it as we go. I think we have your good sound, so life is good. At this point, looking around the graveyard on the outside, you do see two of your house guards. You've met them once or twice before, with a fairly big figure making a silhouette as he moves towards you guys, and he's got a cane he's holding to help him walk through the uneven ground. Rob, your mouth made a movement, but there was no sound.
I'm practicing for dubbed Japanese or Korean movies.
You're on it. You're on it.
I thought so.
Okay.
Is it Uncle Loto by any chance?
Oh, could it possibly be?
Yeah. If it is, Monty, shoot him.
Yes. Okay.
So moving through the swirling mist, and with the bright moonlight above, illuminating all of that, making it sort of glow, this group approaches, and it is Uncle Loto. He leans on his cane and sort of stoops over it, looking at you guys curiously, and does not make the first move to converse.
So who's he with?
I'll give Uncle Loto a bow commensurate with his position and mine in the house.
Oh, absolutely. He is one of the several right-hand men of your house's leader. He leaned a lot on his late wife's position within the house to gain even more amongst the other uncles. He gained incredible value to the house when he organized and instigated the house's rise to the Isiltari, where in the very first session of our game, he had organized a means to challenge and provoke and diminish House Bjorn and raise yours to the Isiltari. He's well known in the house. However, you know other things about him.
So who's he with?
I do.
2 guards who you recognize vaguely from around the house. You could probably talk to them and they'd be very sympathetic to you. Is the silence continuing to drag on?
No, I yawn.
Go ahead, Pete.
Oh. Oh.
He breaks the silence first. Is it a sign of weakness? Is it just because he's impatient? And he just says, "So, what have we here?" And the cat's like going crazy and with no sound. It's awesome.
Okay, so yeah, Christine's got no audio.
Talking to Pete. She's talking
it
to
was
Pete.
on the phone.
Probably.
So we're in the graveyard. Yeah?
Yes, you are. So Pete, the only thing you missed was
sorry.
he broke the silence first and said, "So what have we here?"
So I just motion gravestones, dead flowers, living flowers, some trees. Oh, and grass.
There's nothing much. I mean, we were just trying to get away from the ghosts, as everyone else was. We stumbled upon these cultists. So
I see.
there was a little bit of a fracas.
I suppose you have killed all of these people.
Well, apparently the ghosts actually took care of a lot of them. They seemed quite mad.
He scoots over and nudges one of the bodies with his toe. So now he's within arm distance of you guys. He goes, "Well, that's a House Lavelle young gentleman, or was." You didn't find anything interesting, did you?
Oh, found lots of things that were interesting.
They were performing some sort of strange ritual in the mausoleum, but that's all we found. Did
you guys shut the way down with the pinky on your way up?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to know that resting place apart from me and my evil plan for world domination.
There will be a Blades in the Dark adventure off of this. I knew it.
That's it. The next one we will be contending against the Rob's character will have to become an NPC and will be the evil protagonist of our next adventure.
Yeah, and his ragtag band of Mocklin and minions.
Yeah, that's it.
You'll all have to wear goggles and things.
Yeah, he'll be known in dark circles as the Ultra Gauche Man.
that's
that man
wonderful.
opens portals. He's like no other.
Oh. Mm. Very, very good.
No one can deliver a twisted double entendre like him.
Oh my word. Okay. He seems satisfied with your explanation, aside from the fact that he does seem really curious about the site.
Yes, a bit too curious to my thinking.
Ah.
Mm.
And he turns his back to you guys and ushers the guards on, and he starts stumping his way through the gravestones away from you. There's no one else on this side of the hill.
Hmm.
Sorry, a bit of player knowledge. The last time we saw Uncle Loto, he didn't have a cane, did he?
No. He's gotten heavier, and the ground is ridiculously uneven here, as opposed to striding through the house or along the esplanades of Ilrian.
Okay.
So he has probably chosen a cane simply because the ground is so, gnarled with roots and hummocks and broken off gravestones.
Okay, so
I mean,
as
I'd
he
be, I'd be
turns
tempted to
so
deal
does
with him
he
other than the
walk-
guards.
Sorry. So does he
I mean, the
walk
guards
the way
are-
that we've just
yeah,
come,
sorry.
or does he walk back the way he's just came from?
Yeah, the way he just came from. He's heading back down the hill to join the rest of the people.
So why did he come up for? I've got a sneaky
Exactly.
suspicion that he knows more. Now, if he's prepared to kill his own wife, then maybe he's behind the whole.
I would not be surprised to find out that he wasn't party to this whole thing. I mean, we know that this cult had fingers in all of the houses,
Yeah.
so I would not be surprised to find out that he was high up.
Let's kill him.
And possibly that may be why he had his wife killed, was that she had found out about his involvement.
Yeah.
He's pissed off around with it, hasn't he? Let's get our revenge.
I think we should kill him.
There's no one else there. We strip him off, hang him up in a tree, get him to confess all his sins.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, but what do we do with
festivals
the
up.
two guards? The two guards are innocent.
Yes, they
Yeah,
are.
well, we can have that.
Monty's brilliant at distraction with distraction by sandwich.
Hot sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot sandwich.
I ate the last one, I'm afraid. It's gone.
Yeah.
Damn
Oh,
it.
there's
Oh,
always-
God,
I
with
mean-
mayonnaise. Oh no, different game.
Different character.
Do we have a bear in a crate anywhere nearby that we could use to scare the guards off?
Sadly, no. I
Yeah,
think you guys are
we
pretty
have
low
that
on.
jar of bees we didn't use.
Jar of bees.
Dave's
Yeah, I think we've got a few apiaries around, haven't we?
I think
Yeah.
Felix doesn't have any stress, does he?
Yeah. Time for an impactful
Flashback.
flashback. Yeah.
All right. Felix, how are you going to get these guards to leave?
Your voice is cutting in and out there, Felix.
Mm.
What was that,
Yeah,
Skippy?
what was that? Can't hear me.
Do we know the names of the guards?
I can hear you now, Felix.
I'm going to come back.
Yeah, you do know the names of the guards. I don't have them written down right now. I can make them up for you if you so choose. However,
Yeah.
you do know these two guards.
Lovely.
Guard A, guard B. Good Italian names.
Alfonso and Bernardo. A and B.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's Alessio de Vigo and
Celestio,
Grazia Spizziga.
Grazia. Celestio and Grazia.
Yes.
I'm going to call out to them because I've got my whippet, which has been shot. And I've got it
Yes.
in a little sling, basically,
Oh
of
yes, we got
my
saved the whippet.
yeah, I've got it in a little sling of my cloak, and I'm obviously taking care of it. And I call out to them. Can you guide me to the nearest medics so I can get some help for my little hound?
Oh, they're both exceedingly willing to help. You can tell that it leaves Uncle Loto feeling a little disconcerted as they abandon him immediately to escort you and the pup down the hill.
Excellent. Thank you very much. You're so
Well done.
kind. Help me. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to head off with them and basically get my whippet looked at.
Very
From
good.
the injuries it's picked up saving people,
Yes, it has. Very good.
Ah,
So you head
Um,
down the hill, and we will pick up with Uncle Loto, who has sort of turned back to see our team, who is walking behind him and catching up to him.
Uncle Loto. Sorry, we couldn't speak earlier because of the guards, but there was something interesting inside the mausoleum you should maybe see.
What? What was it? He seems genuinely excited.
Well, we're not entirely sure, but perhaps you might be able to give us some clues. They seem to be trying to open something.
Oh, please show me where.
Okay,
And he
we
starts
shall
shuffling.
head back to the mausoleum.
Oh, he's shuffling to the mausoleum.
with the cane.
Brilliant.
Because we found a book, didn't we? If I remember
We
rightly.
did.
we did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, was that
We have-
was that Owen's book by any chance?
No, you asked that before.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Did
But that
did
was
we
a good
take that
question.
book? Or was,
obviously.
did we take it, or is it still there? I can't remember.
I think you
I
guys
think
took it.
we would have taken it. Yeah.
Yeah,
we taken it,
I
yeah.
took it.
So you guys move across the original room, and I may throw it up there just to give you guys that memory, even though we're not going to go all the way through this. You can see all the blood and all the mess, and you can see the pinky that you guys messed with. As you move across there, number one, all of this crap is gone, so you're not seeing people jumping out and all that other stuff. It's an empty, quiet room.
Still got the piles of corpses there, but
It still has the piles of corpses. You will notice that Uncle Lodo just shuffles by the piles of corpses like,
yeah, he's guilty as hell.
and he's now standing there. Show me, where is this entrance? What were they messing with? And he's agitated, excited.
So we'll
Well, when we just come out, we don't really want to show him where everything
Oh, I
is.
think we do. We need somewhere to hide the body.
Well, let's get him to admit it first. So why not just tell him that
Ooh.
we know that he's involved?
Okay, are you whispering to the others? What are you doing?
I would
I know
like
you're
to
talking to
ask
them,
a
but
question from player to player, please.
I think you can hang back as he's poking around the statue.
Okay.
Okay.
In that case, I whisper to Pietro. Do we actually think that this is a wise idea? Wink. If he dies, would that not shatter the Barrier?
No, the Well of Souls is closed, I think.
Okay. In that case, draw the pistol and shoot him in the back of the head. Point blank range.
Do you want to do that up here, or do you want to wait
No,
2
we're
seconds?
Downstairs. We're downstairs. But so I say to Pietro, I know I've got the book, but we can actually say that there was something that they were messing around with where the book was, which is on the left-hand side, remember? Also, there's loads of corpses there, so there's lots of blood. He's on a cane. Maybe gravity might actually be in our favour.
He doesn't use the cane as he's walking in here. He sort of twirls it around because he's on level ground. But he is now poking around the front of where everything happened. He does not obviously know he doesn't know the secret, but he's like, oh, I never knew this mausoleum existed. This is amazing. Look
Right,
at
so he knows
look at the carving.
statue is key, but
Yeah.
he doesn't know the secret handshake. Yeah,
Correct.
I'm
Because he doesn't have the book.
yeah, I'm waiting for Pietro. I'm waiting for Pietro.
So yeah. It's interesting. I mean, we can talk about this later, but we had a long conversation with Boone de Lavelle recently.
What?
Yeah,
I thought she was. That's it. Very interesting. What did she have to say?
Oh, quite a lot. She's like a canary when you feed her.
And you fed her very well from time to time, haven't you?
Oh, yes. She likes nothing more than to be slit to the length of something.
Here, help me. How do we get through here?
Why? I'm curious. Why are you so interested?
He turns to you guys, a little quizzical. He goes, I mean, you know, we've done everything we can to make the house ascendant. We've brought them into the Esoteric. The only thing left is ultimate power. We, as a house, could control life and death itself with the right keys. We could live forever. Or we could, the rest of the houses could bow before us as they supplicated for boons that we provide from the depths. Have you not seen him in your dreams? Argos? He speaks to us.
Oh, yeah, Argos. Yeah, he went up against me. I'm still standing. Argos isn't. He won't be troubling you in your dreams anymore, sir. Now, I think...
What?
Well, I don't like
What?
to blow my own trumpet, but when you're
Just a second. Felix is trying to talk. Everybody, just a second. Felix?
I'm not trying to talk, and when I do, you can't hear me, but I'm not trying to talk.
We can hear you completely when you do that. We heard you 100%.
Yep.
I wasn't
you were
talking.
absolutely fine, mate.
Well, what do you think I was saying?
I just saw your thing was flashing green, and I thought we were missing you. I apologize. I'm trying to be a good game master. I saw your thing flashing green. I thought you weren't getting listened to, and I was pausing game to make sure you were heard. So take that for what it is. Let's move on.
Yeah, Uncle Loto, don't you know I'm the best knack in all of Illyriad? Do you really not think that Argos
No,
would be
no,
a
no,
challenge
no,
to me?
no, no, no. The best one was Owen. And he raises an eyebrow at you.
And who did Owen teach? And Owen's now dead, which means I'm the best knack in the world.
Listen, you whippersnappers. Listen,
Whippersnappers now.
just
Oh,
because, and he shakes his cane at you. Owen was a fool. He messed with things he should never have. He got what he deserved.
After that speech, you're prepared to say that?
So Pietro's going to be moving
World
around to the
domination.
side, round to the sort of moving quietly round the side to the back while he's focused on.
He's focused completely on Mocklin.
On Mocklin. So yeah.
The tank once again.
So yeah, Pietro's just moving round to the back and readying his shotgun.
Very
Just
good.
in case that pain is not quite as simple as it appears, which I suspect it's not.
He pokes at you with his cane. Listen, you have all been raised from nothing. Nothing at my instigation to be part of our house. You will help me now as we solve this riddle and we gain this power.
Am I close enough to snatch his cane?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
He's
I'm going
poking
to
you
try and
with
snatch
it.
his cane.
Wow. Okay. I will say this is not a hard thing. You just grab it when he's shaking it at you.
So I grab it. Oh, Discord's gone again. Right, so I grab it and I turn it and I point it at him and I say, "Look here, you old, mature bag of fetid gas. Someone brought up through the houses dare speak to a king? I think, sir, you forget who's in your house. You need to know your place. Now pull your breeches down and take a good spanking like any other monkey."
He raises all he does is raises an eyebrow. He says, "Our house has taken on many beggars. I am glad that you have found happiness and fulfillment in supporting ours. Now, if you wouldn't mind giving me my cane and solving this problem."
Yeah, by all means. And I thwack across the side of his head.
Ooh.
Fucking beggar.
Oh.
I'll give you a fucking beggar.
Okay. You may make a roll on that, and what we will do is it's going to be a simple, what are we going to call it?
Roll.
Yes.
Yes. A simple roll.
A
Just a
simple roll to where I'm trying to find your character sheet to tell you what that is, and it is, of course, a.
Well, I was going to use maneuver.
No. You tell me what it is. I forget myself in this game.
I would love to use channel, but I'm not using magic, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think the next best thing I can use is maneuver, or unless I could actually feint and make him think that I'm drawing power or going through the known way of getting power, and then at the last second I can whack him across the side of the head with the thing. Will you allow that?
So you think, number one, that this is an old man who is not going to actually give you much resistance in your physical movement.
Well, actually,
When
I
you
think
go
it
to
was more than that, but I'm still going to whack him around the side of the head.
Okay. So I'm just going to do a roll just to see how well this works,
Okay,
and
I'll
then
use maneuver.
we will move forward. Okay. Okay. Well, you hit him. He falls down. His front teeth crash against the ground and bend inwards hard, and there's a shower of blood from his mouth. He gets up going, "Oh, what are you doing?" Oh, he's trying to push himself up. What? What? He seems quite upset, of course.
Okay, so now we all get advantage.
I would like to move around the team a little bit and see what they do. Mon, what are you doing as this old man gets knocked down and his teeth bashed in?
Monty is decidedly unimpressed with that speech about global domination and unlimited power, and he's just like, no, this is just no. There are some things that should not be meddled with. Monty's never been a particularly ambitious individual. He does not strive for these things. He just does not understand. He's like, I'm happy if I can make a positive influence. He's not interested in any of that. So he's basically standing kind of like more towards the staircases. It's
Very
kind of
good.
central, just in case anything happens. He's kind of like prepared to stop anybody coming down the stairs or anybody leaving. If something goes off, he's just kind of keeping an eye, make sure nothing happens. No one enters or leaves until what's done is done, whatever that may be.
Lorenzo, thoughts?
I'm going to make a hand gesture to the monkey,
Ah.
and the monkey's just going to piss on his shoes.
God bless.
And then I'll walk
It
away.
wouldn't be right if this didn't happen. I'm not going to call for a roll because it's just too beautiful in this situation. As he's trying to get up, and the monkey moves over after watching the hand gesture, moves his little breeches aside, fishes in his pants, pulls out what he has to pull out, and sprinkles the boots of our poor stumbling Uncle Loto as he's trying to get up. What the? What? And Uncle Loto is now back to standing, bleeding down his mouth. The monkey scampers away. And now he suddenly is looking at you guys as adversaries instead of part of his team. He's a little bit concerned. Why? What's going?
You stand condemned by your own hand. You ordered the assassination of your wife. You consorted with the assassin to kill your lover, all for your own vaunted ambition. You would bring doom to the house, even though you profess to want to raise it up. You want to raise it up for your own self. You're too dangerous to live, and we here condemn you to death.
Your servants! Your servants!
And Pietro pulls out a dagger and plunges it into his heart.
Without
Make the roll.
hesitation. Oh my God. Pietro, I knew that very first duel molded your character.
add 2 dice to your attempt because he is completely shocked and vulnerable.
Okay.
There it
There's
is.
a 6.
Smack. It's a wet, hard, fleshy sound as that dagger just goes right into his front. He stumbles backwards, falls, and strangely enough, hits the pinky. The stairs start to open, and he stumbles, surprised, still gouting blood from his mouth, and stumbles down the stairs into darkness. You can go down there and make sure.
I think we should go down and make sure he's dead, yes.
He's slumped at the second room, the bottom of the stairs. The stairs themselves did a lot of damage. They're stone and they're hard. But
Well,
you
as I
think-
recall, you sort of come out onto onto quite a high ledge, and then the stairs go
Yeah.
round. So
Yep.
he probably went over
probably
the
went
edge.
right down the yes.
Yeah.
And he's killed in so many ways that it's not a question. However, he never made it down to the level that he had hoped to make it.
So do we leave him here so there's no body to recover, or do we take him back up and blame the cultists? I'd say we take
People are
him
gonna-
back up and blame the cultists.
Yeah, people are going to wonder where he's.
sorry.
People are going to wonder where he's gone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm really not going to assist in carrying that fat fuck up those stairs. I say we know how to get in. Nobody else does. We've got the book that's got the key in it. That's soon going to be demolished by fire. We leave them in there. Maybe in 100 years' time, maybe somebody might work out how to get in. But yeah,
What happens to the house without a confirmed death?
they'll get another uncle.
There's so many people who've died this night. Honestly,
He'll be
someone
missing
turning
out.
up missing is probably not going to be a major problem.
Who's next to inherit?
Well,
no.
he's not in the inheritance. No, he's
not.
just an uncle.
Yeah,
He's further down. He's not in charge of your house.
no.
Okay.
So the house isn't going to fall. Obviously, Sasha doesn't know what we've just done. We know what we've just done. All that we need to do is say we took him to the mausoleum so that he could see. He was very interested in the statue and whatnot. We came up and we left him in there so that he could see the devastation that we've had to deal with from these cultists. That was the last time we saw him, and it's not going to be a lie because the last time we saw him was in the mausoleum.
It is mausoleum. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's leave him here then.
So
Obviously, I'll take my dagger. So, I'm taking the dagger out. I think we need to make sure there's no traces left around the statue that might indicate that there was, a stair, like a half a footprint in blood or something where the edge of it was, or silly things like that.
Nope.
So we'll get
I'm
some of the
perfectly happy
corpses
with that.
And then rub them all over the place and make it look like some.
We'll put rubble
specters.
over it. Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
plenty of rubble and debris in here. We'll dump some of that over the
Yep.
stairs in front of the statue.
We don't know if anyone else knows about this place. There could be people that know about it that just weren't there that night.
Yeah.
There might be a couple.
That's possible. Yeah, we don't know.
I
Now,
wonder what
you-
would happen
you would
if we actually broke
imagine-
the hand off the statue.
Yeah.
Do you think if we broke the hand off the statue, that would disable the mechanism?
It looks. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's quite firmly attached, but I'm sure we could get it off there. I mean, there must be some sort of mechanism. I'm going to have a look. Can I jam the mechanism? Can I disable it? Make a
What I'd
tinker
like
roll?
is you tinker roll. Yes, sir.
And I'm going to use a bit of stress to make sure
Fair
it's
enough.
a really good one. And a lucky charm.
Ooh,
I'm
not used yet. Fair enough.
I'm going to
Let's see
be,
it.
yeah. So, it's a bit. So lucky charm plus an extra dice for stress. There it is.
Nice.
There's the 6 we needed. Yes,
Actually,
you
you've got
can't.
Yahtzee.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
What will happens now?
So I think that what we'll say with this is you can jam this in one of two ways. You think you can jam this thing to where it will take like excavation people to dig down to get there because they will have to completely go around it. Or it can be reversible in a way only you would know.
I'll go with the second option.
Fair enough. That only you would know?
Yeah, but I'm going to trap it. Basically, I'm going to trap it so that if someone else tries to unjam it, it will actually permanently destroy it.
Very
I'm
good.
Looking over Pietro's shoulder.
I like it.
Every mix, twist, finger gesture, everything. I'm committing this to memory.
You have no clue what you're looking at. It's just like it's gibberish to you.
As you watch it, it is mechanical in nature. It's not magical in nature. You think it's sort of like watching someone do a Rubik's Cube really, really fast. You think maybe the first 3 turns you could get, but after that it gets out of control, and you just nod knowingly, like, yeah. Okay. With that, let us make a quick movement to a different scene. We are now in autumn. We had the end of summer, fall. We had the various things that have just happened. And I've sort of thrown on a scene, an idyllic scene of a table of food out by one of the canals where you and your paramours are gathered. It's been a couple of months. You guys.
So Ruby is really showing.
Oh, yeah, she's showing.
Yeah.
Oh, my word. That's right.
Yeah.
Way to bring that back up so that we can enjoy that. The group of you is gathered around a table in the late afternoon sun. And you are discussing different things and chatting and enjoying the evening as it settles upon Ilrian. You have all been raised for your gallantry in protecting people during the Night of the Dead to full members of the house.
Mm.
You will have if and when you ever retire further down the road, you will have a beautiful retirement in the house without work, without worry. Let us work a little bit around the table. Pietro, can you describe to us a little bit about the conversation between you and your paramour?
Yes. So,
has anything happened in the last 2 months?
Well, Letter and I are consumed with wedding plans,
Ooh, exciting.
and it's going to be a magnificent affair in the finest of tastes.
Absolutely.
Luxurious beyond belief.
Let's dig at that just a tad. What do you think? What's the location, and what colors and things? Let's dig at that just a tad.
My character might be really good at this fashion stuff, but I'm not.
Oh, you've done well all game.
Oh dear.
You've seen lots of different areas during the game. You've
Yep.
seen all across the town, including grottos below the town. Is there any place that just makes you want to have a wedding there?
It's going to be a grand location.
Okay.
Actually, no, I tell a lie. We're going rustic. It's going to be set at the vineyards, open location. The finest silks embroidered with pearls. There'll be
rustic.
lots of throwing of petals. Little page boys and girls
and monkeys
looking cute. Monkeys will
Absolutely.
be well away from anything dangerous. There'll be we'll have guards at the entrance frisking the monkeys to make sure they don't have any, razors or explosives on them.
And so
But yes,
you guys
we're setting a fashion. No one's done this before in high society, so we're going to be setting a new trend.
I'm excited to hear about this. I think I'd like to go to Monty next to hear about what's going on in your life at this point. It's been 2 months. You may have gone ahead and knocked out some of that already.
We have. We once everything had finished, we got married.
Tell us about the marriage. No, tell us about the marriage.
It was a quietish affair. He doesn't, he's not one to draw too much attention. But what they got the Senora of Roses, and they got some kind of like some of the barges, and they basically had a floating ceremony around the canals with band playing and food, but very very self-contained. Just the house, just our coterie and close friends, and Senora and a couple of other people. But
did any of the wedding party get soggy?
Yes, I think with alcohol and food, and there were a few. Yeah, we had to get the net out a couple of times just to. It's a good job they don't have camera phones, because dignity was little lacking in certain places. soggy attire, and yes. But
Funless had by all.
Yes, and good tales to be retrieved, and to be reminisced about in the future. No crab people, which was good.
Amazing.
Was there lobster for lunch with a bit of butter?
No seafood. No seafood.
No seafood. Wonderful. I will say that I want to say something to Lorenzo.
Yep.
Your paramour. What is her name again?
Do you want me to give you my bit?
No, not yet.
Do you want to see what's happened?
No, not yet.
Okay.
What's her name?
Isabella.
Isabella. Isabella, during that wedding, whispers to you, "I am no longer attached. The Senora of Roses has let me loose."
I know. So this is my bit, yeah?
No. Let's finish up Martin's. Let's just 2 seconds to Martin.
Right.
I think we can go back to your we're at the table, all of us. You are married. The rings are upon your finger.
Yep.
Is she after 2 months pregnant?
No.
Very good. You tried? No.
They're not sure about where they want to go, how they want to have their future, how they see their future. They're just, after all of that stress and time apart with everything that happened, they're just trying to enjoy, some simple life, and then they'll get back to thinking
Enjoy
about
the
maybe
moment.
family in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
So I see you guys seated like at the table side by side, hands clasped underneath the table as you're chatting with everyone else. Very good. Let us move to Lorenzo. Your paramour, Isabella la Bella, is a ridiculously smart individual.
Yeah. Rather than you tell me what's going to
Please.
happen.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not
Okay.
going to tell you what's going to happen.
Okay,
Please
fine.
talk.
Right. So as the sun dipped down below the horizon, casting long dancing shadows across the cobble streets, Lorenzo, now known affectionately as Lorenzo il Magnifico,
Yes, he is.
stood atop the bridge of the Night of the Dead. His gaze sweeping across the city he had come to love. His days as a street entertainer were behind him, but the spirit of the adventure that had fueled his life remained. Beside him stood Isabella, her hand resting gently on his. Their love forged through the countless adventures and shared dangers and flaming wings had blossomed into a beautiful, enduring bond.
That's awesome.
A monkey, now a wise old creature, sat perched on Isabella's shoulder, watching the world with a knowing glint in his eye. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it, Lorenzo? Isabella asked, her voice as soft as a caress. Lorenzo smiled. Indeed, my love. From the perilous depths of the Venetian canals to the treacherous mountains where we set off the trebuchet, we faced countless dangers together and emerged stronger for it, Isabella added. As the twilight deepened, a gentle breeze carried the sweet scent of his jasmine. Lorenzo turned to Isabella, his heart filled with a warmth he had never known before. He took her hand and kissed it softly. I'm so glad I found you, he whispered. Isabella smiled, her eyes sparkled. And I'm so glad you found me, Lorenzo. Together they watched as the city lights began to twinkle, casting a magical glow over Venice. Not Venice, wherever we are.
Ilria. Good enough.
Oh, what's it called?
Ilrian.
Illyria, yeah. Illyria. As the night wore on, they walked together hand in hand through the narrow streets, their laughter echoing through the quiet canals. A new chapter had begun for Lorenzo il Magnifico. Through his days as a street entertainer were over, the spirit of adventure would live on, and with Isabella by his side, he knew that the greatest adventure was all yet to come. There you go. Did you hear any of that?
Oh yeah, got all
No.
of it.
Can you say it again? Can you say it again?
Every third word.
That was awesome. No,
That
Felix,
was really
we heard it 100%.
Very good.
That's brilliant. That was so well done.
I'm ending on a good note without any silliness.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
And by the way, you are back at the table after your walk out into the darkness where you guys had your private time with the rest of the group. And you feel a very solid relationship has developed where she had to be very careful as she was negotiating the Lavelle house, as she was negotiating her requirements to the Senora of Roses. She has no bindings now except the ones that are already built to you. Very good. Let us scoot to another person.
Nobody wants to follow Lorenzo. I'm just saying.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, then we'll go to Mocklin with Ruby.
No, because
You-
ChatGPT hasn't finished my monologue.
Because you know where I was going. You know where I was going, Sasha. So I will instead go where Ruby is sitting next to you and she has a hand on your thigh. Her stomach is rounded beautifully, and the rest of her is thin and trim, and she is trying to feed you a piece of cheese as you're trying to laugh and talk to somebody else. But take it from there.
She drops the cheese into my mouth. I choke. I die.
That sucked. Okay, carry on. No.
No. Okay. So as the cheese passes my lips, I stop laughing, and I just gaze into her eyes. You know, if you carry on feeding me, dear, I'm going to be as large as you are, and I'm not carrying twins.
Ooh.
Hmm.
She puts a hand to your face and says, how do you know? You naughty, naughty Knack.
Has none of my friends told you I'm the greatest knack in the world?
You are a knack of one sort or another. Please, what do you see of our two?
About two? Well, obviously they've got their mother's good looks. I look at Pietro and wink. Okay. Obviously they've got my stamina from when we did the deed. I look at Monty and whisper, I've got a book, I'll pass it to you.
Monty flushes red.
Nice.
And our daughter, she's going to have the cunning intellect, that of Lorenzo. And our son, he's going to have the guile and cunning of Sasha. And his aim is going to be just as true in all that he does.
She gathers you into a hug and says, you and your extended family are so precious.
Yes, they are special, aren't they? I don't know
Says,
where
"I'm not-
I'd be without them.
I'm not too fond of the monkey.
To be fair, I lean in and I say, to be fair, I think they're better roasted.
Very good. Let us go to Sasha, who is sitting next to her young man, who is now no longer a captain. He has been raised to major because of his heroic deeds on the Necropolitan Hill in saving enormous numbers of people from what could have been a horrific event. He and his guards maneuvered deftly to separate the crowds from the rising creatures and fought a desperate retreat down the hill until suddenly all of the creatures disappeared. But he led the event and he is now raised in rank. He now reports directly to the council. He no longer reports to the academy. He no longer reports to. He reports to the council itself, as one of the senior leaders of the military. But he is trying desperately to peel you grapes, and he's not doing a great job. And you think that he might cut himself if he continues.
Sasha definitely takes the grapes out of his hand. Here, let me do that, darling.
Oh, thank you.
She swiftly skins 5 grapes, throws them in the air and into his mouth. One after the other. Pop, 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 pop. Watches him catch them like a seal.
Oh, yeah.
And giggles.
Do you have like actual practice with this in real life, Christine? I'm just wondering. No, go ahead.
Definitely not. If I tried that in real life, we wouldn't have Pietro here now. He would have been a goner, choking on some. Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Tell us about where you're at in your relationship with this young man at this particular point.
We've discussed making it more formal and taking it into an engagement, and he's very much been encouraged by myself that I think this could well work for us. We have a strong, stable relationship, tried and tested through the last year.
Fair enough.
So
His constant problems with a certain young lady seem to have calmed down as their house has proved ascendant. We think that he is free and clear of those extra bonds that were intangible but dangerous. House Corvetto no longer is claiming any of him. You follow me?
mm-hmm.
He respects you in a way that is different than you expect from some young officer. He knows you're better than him at most things. He understands his position. He understands the entanglement that you have and the wonder there is in it. And he is willing to set it all aside at the moment. And as you guys around the table are watching them, they are some of the most in love people you've ever seen for maintaining their careful sobriety. I will take us across the town for a minute to an interesting location. We are on a barge, a pleasure barge. We are, oh, that's interesting, Pietro, where we have
I just got there, and now you were going to a pleasure barge.
That's awesome. That's so good. But
Pietro's hanging around the table going, "Where is everyone?"
No. This is, you guys are all at the table. This is a pleasure barge where the Senora of Roses is sitting at a table being talking to several different people. But at a desk not too far away is her new eye. unfettered, with access. Do you guys know who that is?
I'm guessing it's a certain Moody.
Moon de Lavelle has worked her way in and she has a light chain, a filigree of silver that runs from an anklet across the barge as she moves wherever she chooses. But she has found herself a new home and a new place to play her games. With that, it's 8:25. I think with great sadness in my heart and great joy at the entire event, I pronounce the Court of Blades complete. Well done, all of you. And wow, what a neat event all the way around. I be glad to chat further over the next couple of minutes if you guys want to talk about some of the things that were most exciting to you, but we at this point are finished. So I will go really quickly to Sasha. What was the most event impacting thing for your character? Whoa, was it the ship as you guys are going? No, what? I don't want to throw anything out there.
Oh, crumbs. You've come to the person with the crappiest memory.
Deep breath. I can jump across to different people. Martin, Monty, tell us about what was the most memorable event out of this entire long session of the Court of Blades for you as your individual character. So for me, it was you burning all of the different gondolas down towards where yeah, I thought that was a brilliant thing. But go ahead. What for you?
I think the most amusing, well, certainly the part I think that sticks in the mind is his brief foray into acting and musical theatre.
Oh, yes, that was quite amusing. Yeah, that was good.
Brilliant.
Ending on the inside of a tuba.
Yeah. The whole musical bears event.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gotcha.
I mean, there were lots of good parts. I mean, yeah, there was lots of trying to the bit with the ship that was always that was entertaining, and the back and forth with Cosmo, even though he was such a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I enjoyed the it's not my character as such, but the Paramore sequence was fun to deal with, and that was a lot of, you could sense the jeopardy in that.
Yeah.
In that as well, we knew how they didn't necessarily know how dangerous he was, but obviously we had a bit more context than those characters we were playing, and getting to dive into them without much or any preparation or warning was good as well. So yeah, lots of fun things.
Brilliant. Lorenzo, tell us about your highlight of the entire thing.
It was all good.
Trebuchet?
It was all good. Trebuchet was good. The bear was good.
Oh, they were wonderful.
The monkey at the ball, all those things were good.
Oh, there are some really amazing sequences with the monkey, and your flashbacks for the trebuchet and the bear were stunning. And as far as a game master goes, holy crap, is that hard to digest in a hurry. But you know what? That's how the game's designed. And I was shocked, giddy, and I mean, it made amazing difference in the game that you were so creative that you could come up with the type of flashbacks that were game changing in the moment. Amazing. Amazing.
That's certainly incredibly memorable. I mean,
Mm.
you know, to the point where we're, you know, as soon as you just say bear or trebuchet, it just immediately puts me back in that situation. It's just, yeah, amazing.
Absolutely. And,
Um,
and you know,
a lot of creatures that were larger than it.
I thought your sequence with the lady who had been your oh gosh, for the all of the orphans, and she had set up that horrible existence for you guys, and being able to put that down, I thought that was a good thing too. It was exciting to see how you worked that. But yeah, as a GM, I enjoyed your character for that particular thing. I enjoyed Monty's for his creativity on the way he did several different things, including the burning things going down. There were several really creative things out of both of you guys that were exciting. So let us go now to Sasha. What was memorable to you for your character, not for other characters, for your character?
There were a couple of things that I really enjoyed. I mean, I enjoyed when we had the several day event of the stag of the races, the races of the stag.
That was cool.
That was one of the few times ever that during an event I've actually rolled really well.
Yeah, well
yeah.
done.
And some of the balls we went to were rather fun as well, with the things turning, disintegrating dress.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There were multiple balls that you guys went to that, if you think about it in a game situation, how do you make that a exciting, interesting event that you're going to a ball?
No two were alike. Nothing ever happened the same.
No. I mean, there were some things that carried on, some attacks on certain people, but at the same time, I thought that they turned out fairly well for just being a weird social event that you guys had to deal with.
Yeah.
Whether it was Sasha taking her dagger and going all the way down all of the
silks,
different silks to get to the ground and save her paramour, or
that was it.
What
It was to save my paramour from the drink that Moon had given him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then of course there was the trick gondola seat.
Oh, the gondola seat. That was phenomenal.
Yeah. To humiliate Moon de Lavelle.
You guys had lots of fun with Moon. So speaking of Moon, let us go to Rob, to Mocklin. Tell us about your favorite events in the game.
Well, like everybody else, there's far too many to, anything that makes me laugh has been a favourite. But the two that stand out the most is Pete and the first duel to the death. Not necessarily for the actual duel, but Pete and his reaction and the hysterics that just came through from the back of that. And bless him, to his worth, he role-played that so well as well afterwards.
Yes.
You could see the panic in his eyes going, holy shit. Guys, Rob, why did you say to the death? My character's going to be dead. And it's the first week. You can see the colour drain from his face. It was epic. The second has to be Lorenzo and the friggin' bear.
Yeah.
Literally, it just stopped me in my tracks, and I'm like, A bear? What the fuck? How's this going to work? But I tell you, the
I'm not just a bear. A bear that was trained to attack with honey.
Attack with honey.
On honey, yeah.
Or for honey, you know, and you just have to go. Felix is actually one sick muppet, you know. Why would he come out with this? Seriously, what does he do in his spare time? It was fantastic. Those are the two that made me literally all of my fat wibbled on my belly. It was proper belly wiggling.
Me too.
You know, and yeah, everything else is, you know, I mean, Monty fudging a roll and ended up in the drink, Sasha upsetting Grandad, and you know, but she did it on purpose to get the reaction for the distraction. Absolutely fantastic. Some of the things that have happened, they've just been really, really good, and they've all stood out. But those two were the ones that made me laugh so much.
Don't forget the flaming wings, because the double sixes and the flaming wings.
Yeah.
The flaming wings have been a constant thing.
Yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I do apologise for that, but
So just for those that don't know, when they had a double six, they would joke about having flaming wings coming out of their butts as they did whatever they did, which actually played into several different events. But let us move to Pietro, our dear leader of the band to some extent, that has been through so much grief, whether it is through, taxiderming pigs or you name it, that we took advantage of him from the very first of the game to press him against the wall. Tell us a little bit about your experience in the game and those things that just are so memorable.
I mean, you know, we've covered so many of them. The balls that we did, you know, it has been so different. Every session has been different, inventive, just playing with you guys, coming up with these solutions, as you say, bears, trebuchets, flaming wings. I think for me, the thing that's been like a constant thread through the game is that as someone who is I'm not a very sociable person. I suffer from social anxiety. So playing a character who is, you know, basically a socialite, a diplomat, someone who moves his way around, you know, trying to put myself into that position and play that character, I think that has been a real challenge for me, and I have enjoyed doing it. You know, it really has taken me out of my comfort zone and stretched me.
I'm finding the same with the other character in the other game. She's very much the same way. It's like, this is very different to how I am normally.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. Like I say, I completely understand what you're saying about it. It's very different. Yeah.
So I've got to. I mean, you know, the way obviously the game is set up for that kind of thing. You know, it is like set up for social situations, social combat almost.
Yes.
And I think you have handled it very, very well. I think you really have set us up to succeed.
With a bow on top.
Yeah. So
There's always a danger when you're managing that to say that's a bit out of hand, and you've kind of rolled with it.
I think the thing, that is the thing. Is it would have been so easy for you to basically turn around and say, yeah, well, you've not quite done that work there, or you've not persuaded them and things like that, and that that would have been, you could quite legitimately have done that, but I think you dealt with the cases where we succeeded and the cases where we failed positively in both cases. So everything moved the story forward.
Wow. I'd be perfectly happy for you guys to spend the next couple of minutes complimenting me on my GM skills, but I do want to dial in on Pietro and get what are the 2 times that he was just like, what? And went with it. Was it the pig in the dress? Did that get you? I mean, what got you?
I think the pig. I gotta say, I think the pig in the dress was the moment when we were for the first moment in this game where I thought, oh, it's that kind of game. It was like, okay, right. I realized, that was the point where I understood that there were, levels of personal enmity that were going to be fired at us from the dark.
Yeah.
Basically there were these undercurrents, and they were going to come at us from every direction.
Mm-hmm.
Not just as us personally, but at those near to us. It was there was going to be this multifaceted campaign that we were going to have to deal with.
Very good.
And it was just this fog. I mean, this threat had come, and there was just this fog of who the hell was doing this. So yeah, so I think that was like a turning point for me. Yes, the pig in a dress was like, okay, I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I think the other one probably was where we actually realised that who the assassin was, and that we were the ones who had smuggled him in.
Yes, that was a shocker, wasn't it?
That was a twist. Yeah,
that was a shocker. Yeah, suddenly you guys are implicated in the very murder that you were trying to investigate and everything else.
Yeah, and that turned us into, on the one hand, we were trying to investigate the murder, but on the other hand, trying to divert the investigation into us.
Exactly.
We were trying to steer the investigation into the murder so that it sort of came to the right conclusion, but sort of just sidestepped our involvement in it.
I think for me as the GM, my favorite interaction of the entire game was at the dinner table where you guys were dealing with the investigator, and I'm trying to think of his name. Help me out. Hesperides,
yes.
Who came up to the table and was trying to probe at you as you were trying to be careful about the entire event. And I thought that was one of the most exciting points for me as the GM, because you had the investigator who sort of had an idea of what was going on, and he was just poking to see if he could figure out what had happened as far as getting the murderer into the house and everything else, and the way you managed to move that around. Now, Rob's taking over of his sponsorship and his family and taking care of him solved a lot of those problems, which could have turned into worse problems. And I thought that was really fascinating to see how that played out. I was sad to kill Rob's teacher.
Yeah,
I
so
did.
was
Owen. I was sad about killing Owen.
Poor Owen.
I'm trying to think about some of the other things I was sad about doing, but Hesperides' family getting crushed, I didn't like that. There are several things I didn't like that had to happen to sort of drive the story brutally forward, and we all took it well. And I thought it was a great situation where you guys sort of grew out of that and did the things you did.
I must admit, I thought Andrea was in serious jeopardy many weeks. I thought she's not going to come through this. It will be.
I will tell you, Andrea was. I toyed with a parallel situation in which she was killed
Yeah.
to make you a ruthless vengeance person. I
Yep.
chose not to because I didn't think it completely fit with how everything was going. I'm glad I didn't, because I think the story's better for it. I think if you were sitting at the table alone right now, with a satisfaction in your gut that you had killed somebody who killed her, I think it turned out better. I was seriously tempted down that route because I saw how deeply you were connected, and I wanted to pull those strings, but
But
in
the
the
sense of
grand
jeopardy was the sense of jeopardy was there every session.
Well,
Good.
that's the thing is that she's dead, then that's the end. Then you're
Yeah.
free of the entanglement. But if
Yeah.
she's alive, she can be used to keep you
Absolutely.
engaged.
Manipulate.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
and the entanglements were joyous. I mean, just joyous.
I
The
liked,
sheer amount of entanglements.
Yeah, I like the entanglement with Andrea and Ulrich for Monty. Just watching Martin squirm whenever Ulrich was mentioned. But on the flip side as well, I think that was one of the most memorable sad sections as well, when we knew that Ulrich needed to be dealt with once and for all. And although it would have been right for Monty to do it, what scar would have been left? So I was looking, I remember at the time looking, going, is Pietro going to move? And of course, at the time, Sasha was off camera. So we didn't even have a pussycat with the paws nailed down. So that's one of the reasons why I step forward and I go, I'll be your champion.
It was also, I mean, Monty was also injured. He'd been out to the whatever people to try and get the boat raft people to help, and they beat him up.
They beat him up.
Yeah.
He wasn't in a good state anyway.
Yeah.
No. Well, with all of this said, what a fun campaign this has been, with a really interesting, different setting. We got to really push at some different things for us that were not normal. Blazes in the Dark is very different. D&D is very different. Some of the different things we've done. Instead, you guys rose to the occasion as role players and became this amazing coterie for the house, who were solving all these problems and dealt with it really, really well. I loved every second of it. With that said, we are done. I love it, and we will come back with another campaign in the near future. Thank you so much. Pietro, I know you have places to go. So we are appreciative of everyone's time, and thank you. What a great session.
I think we should also say a big thanks to a pair of drakes.
Yes,
definitely.
absolutely.
A magnificent campaign setting, and thank you, Anthony, for bringing it to life for us.
Thank you so much, all of you, and have a great night. See you guys soon.